Good morning, happy Monday. Where am I this week? I'm sitting in my loft. Every house needs somewhere to dump the things that don't go in a regular cupboard. I'm sitting here surrounded by suitcases because I want to tell you a story about a suitcase. Why? Because back in 1922, 20th of September 1922, a young chap named David Dudley Bloom was born. He was a remarkable fellow, an inventor, creative man, and he came upon some wonderful little ideas that he tried to bring to market. One of his ideas was an invention that seems so obvious to us today. Seems like, why would you not want what he created? But in his time, he really struggled. What did he try to achieve? The remarkable feat of here's a suitcase and putting wheels on a suitcase. You see, back in the olden days, it was seen as the height of chivalry. It was expected that you would leave your house with your family and the man of the house would lift up the suitcases, carry them to the car, no matter how heavy they might have been. As a man, you were expected to carry your suitcase. He thought to himself, that's utterly ridiculous. Why would you carry a suitcase? Why don't you put some wheels on the bottom of the suitcase, which makes the whole job much easier? To us, it would seem ridiculous not to buy a suitcase with wheels on it. That would just go against logic. But back in those days, shops could not see the logic in a suitcase with wheels. It had never been done before. We know what a suitcase is. It's without wheels. That became the definition of a suitcase. And here was this young Mr. Bloom trying to change the definition. That's not how we work. That's not how we think. So he gets rejected time and time again. Eventually, somebody else tries this idea, and another time, Bernard Sado, another enterprising executive, brought the idea of a wheeled suitcase to market. He goes from shop to shop in America, and nobody wanted it. It was only when he got to see Jerry Levy, a vice president at Macy's, a huge department store in New York, that he managed to secure a deal. Levy called in Jack Schwartz, the original Macy's buyer, who had rejected the bag a few weeks earlier. Said, come on, let's give it a go. Customers, for their part, experienced no resistance to the new innovation. They loved it, and the idea took off. Where did it go wrong? Why do ideas like that go wrong so often? And here's the lesson for today, for this week. We've got to break away from the way we always do things, both as adults and as children. Now, the definition of Albert Einstein said the definition of lunacy, of being crazy, is repeating the same idea again and again and expecting different results. Well, you don't need to take it to that extreme, being a lunatic, to understand that. Just in the day-to-day things that we try and do, we get into rhythms, and those rhythms often make us feel safe and secure. But sometimes it's worth breaking free. Just changing direction, trying something new. For those high-ups in those companies, those executives couldn't understand why a suitcase would need wheels, and it took a lot of years, a lot of hard work to bring that idea to fruition. And that's just one example of so many where we just need to change the way we think. How you're going to cope with another week from home, where we're not in the class, where we're not doing our regular things, and for the adult world as well, there are complications. I would urge you to take some time. You owe it to yourself. As the rabbis teach us, if you don't care for yourself, ultimately no one is going to care for you. You've got to learn to love yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself first. Then you can learn to care for other people. So learn to love yourself and think about how you can do things differently. If that's the way you've always done things, we've always learned this way, I can't learn in a different way. Maybe it's a time, an opportunity to learn differently, to try something that you've not tried before. Give it a go. You might just create the next amazing invention. You might just find the way to navigate this difficult time for you, to bring out your abilities, to create success in what you're trying to do. Don't be like those boring people who don't have the confidence to try something new, because that's the way we've always done it. If you hear people like that, give them a suitcase without any wheels and tell them to walk it to the car. Have a good day and a good week. Look after yourselves. Bye.